numbers. Big numbers. Whole team counted, that's a big number.
Yeah, wrist, man. Check the wrist, man. Got him hot. Ay, man, can't ball like this, man. Lord, past the pig skin when he stretch a distance. I'm talking a few 100,000 yards. You just on your 5th grand. Run it up, 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 count it up. Ay, hundreds and 50s and 20s, no 5s and no singles, don't count on them. Ay, she want it like me, cause her blame, she can't count on him. She try to be nosy and hit up my ex, she like, girl, you can count on him.
Hey, we need more, tell them we need more. Putting numbers on the board, let them keep a score. Hey, 16 cars in my front yard. Hey, 30 on my wrist, one point to guard. Big numbers, 100-minute bag, that's a big number.
Hey, everybody, it's the coach. You're tuned in to Sunday Night Football on EA Sports. Straight ahead, we'll see the most valuable player of 2018, Patrick Mahomes, and the Kansas City Chiefs as they take on the third-year man, Mitchell Trubisky, and the NFC North champion, Chicago Bears. I'll join you again at halftime to look at some of these stats and scores from earlier this afternoon. But for now, it's Sunday Night Football. And on the call, as always, Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis.
Now, the good news, Coach, is that the winds aren't as violent as they were yesterday in Chicago, but it's still pretty darn cold. To be expected, I guess, for December football at Soldier Field. This was the scene a moment ago as the Bears emerged from their tunnel. Ready for football are they, and ready for football are we, as the Bears get set to match up with the Kansas City Chiefs. Seated next to Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And Charles, this one featuring a couple of playoff teams from a season ago, back at it again in 2019.
And we both felt the confidence from both of these teams, right? They feel like they will be back in the playoffs again, but they shouldn't be overconfident. 7 teams last year made the playoffs that didn't make it the previous year, so you're not assured of going back year after year.
Now a run on first down is not going to get off the ground as they will get him behind the line of scrimmage for a loss of 3. Okay, there's a tone setter. First play from scrimmage, stuff him in the backfield.
You know what they were doing last night in the hotel room? Visualizing exactly that. That's what they were thinking about. Making that play, having leverage, lower than the offensive lineman, getting into the offensive backfield, knocking someone down. Just what you said, setting the tone early for this game.
Jeez, you are fired up.
When I see a play like that, I can't help it. I know many people like to throw to the tight end, maybe in a little flexed out position because he creates mismatches with his size. But slot receivers do the same thing with their quickness, their speed, and their route running savvy.
Here's Trubisky to throw. And the Chiefs are going to get him. Anthony Hitchens able to record his 5th sack of the season. Well, these sacks are really piling up. Last week, it was a half-dozen sacks. And here's one on the opening drive.
And it has the potential to be what we call a gap, a game-altering play. Because, let's face it, you just mentioned 6 sacks last week. Now, if you're an offense and you saw that on tape, you've got to think to yourself, maybe I bring people in, keep them in, and try and protect my quarterback. It didn't work on that play.
Now a man who really came on late last year, it's Damian Williams. And he picks up about 6 as he gets this down to the 41. The numbers for Williams a week ago, 13 carries, 76 yards, and a touchdown.
Well, we know they've clinched a playoff spot, but there's plenty of football left to play. And I'm a proponent of continuing to do what you've done throughout the season, especially with teams that are heavy run teams. Because if you throttle back too early, you lose the rhythm of the run game, not just with the runner, but with the offensive line as well.
In on the stop, the former Georgia Bulldog, Roquan Smith.
Well, we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
Throwing the out route incomplete. That's Bird. And they're able to get this one past the 30 to the 25-yard line. That goes for a Chiefs first down, 14 yards.
Yellow, 30, 58.
Got to say, I was a little surprised to see him, Charles, come out in the shotgun on 3rd and less than a yard.
Yeah, but the way the NFL is nowadays, we hardly ever see anyone really run for it on short yardage. So they're going to throw the football more times than not. That was a nice, easy rhythm throw right there, and they pick up the first down. Defensively here, you're facing a top 5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high powered, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20. Because to me, that's the magic number. 20-point score gives yourself you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace.
They'll try and run for it. Here's Williams. And he'll have the first down, getting this one to the 14-yard line.
Here we go.
They only get 2 there, but on 3rd and 1, that's all they needed to keep the drive going. If you make the stop there, maybe you hold them to 3 on this opening drive. They didn't get the stop.
Yeah, new set of downs now. Now you're worried about, just as you pointed out, not just giving up 3 possible.
And that is caught. Touchdown, Kansas City. Travis Kelce, his 11th touchdown of the year. And they are able to strike first here on their opening drive. An ideal start for them, really. You force the punt, and then you go down and score.
And you've got to see a fist pump on the sideline from the head coach, don't you? Because he's turned into his bench, and he's telling his team, this is how we prepare. Force the punt, go downfield and score. I told you guys, it's just like a boxer in the gym preparing for the fight. Now we get to turn it all loose.
That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Here's the Chicago offense coming back out onto the field. You know, Charles, season winding down, time to maybe look ahead to the offseason. What do you see these guys going after, either in the draft or free agency?
Well, with the season that they're having, just about every position is up for grabs right now. No one is really safe, but the focal point's always the quarterback position. And he may be auditioning to try and stay with his own current team. I think he's auditioning for the rest of the league to try and find a spot, because I think this team is looking for a new quarterback.
On 2nd down now, it's Cohen. And the Chiefs D closes in on him again, and they drop him behind the line. He lost 2 there, and it's 3rd down. Up front, the struggles continue for this offense among the line. What can they do? Change the play calling? What?
I think part of that, yes, changing some of the play calls, some screens, some draws, some misdirection. You want to run any type of a play that...
And he's taken down. A Chiefs sack.
Well, certainly some teams are not intimidated by down and distance on defense, are they? 3rd and very long? Let's go get this guy again. Big-time pressure.
O'Donnell, he's on to punt as he gets this one away. Here's Hill on the return. We'll call that a punt of 54 yards. Well struck. And it's Chiefs football. 1st and 10. So the Chiefs offense heads out. There's a look at the playoff picture in the AFC. And for them, it's no longer a question of will they make the playoffs. They've clinched the division title. The question, can they hold on to that number 1 seed?
And this is where the mental fortitude comes to play, doesn't it? Because now you're not just the coach talking about it. It's team talking about it to each other, supporting each other, carrying each other along, because having that number 1 seed means everything in the NFL.
It does. So even though the division title's clinched, shouldn't take the foot off the gas.
No, not at all. Play it all the way through. And I think we've seen that in recent years in the NFL. The teams that play and play to win each and every game, they're the ones to deal with in the playoffs.
And he takes this into the end zone for a Chiefs touchdown. Tyreek Hill, 57 yards. And the Chiefs strike quickly here for 6 points. As a former DB, you might not like to see that, but from a wide receiver's perspective, those are the plays they dream of.
Correct on both counts, all right? Because once he took off, I mean, let's face it, that should have been done in Big Sky Country. Aren't any speed limits out there? And off he went. Glad I wasn't the one trying to chase him.
That'll be taken in the end zone. And he won't return this one. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll start at the 25. And now Chicago getting ready to go as they take the field. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points, get that 0 off the board. They're throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete. An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. Trubisky will throw, and that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there, trying to take a shot, but it's 3rd down.
Coverage was excellent downfield. I think he was more throwing that football away than anything else.
Yeah, absolutely, because everywhere you looked, they were covered.
Sometimes it's better to go ahead and be convinced that there's no place to fit in the football than to go ahead and force it and turn it into a bad play.
And he will be knocked down hard, but he will have the 1st down.
The goal for any offense versus his own defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. Caught out left side by Robinson. Trump, Allen Robinson, kiss him goodbye. Touchdown, Chicago. Allen Robinson. His 5th touchdown now on the year as his guys are on the board here in this 1st quarter. Extra point by Badgley, up and good. Through 1 quarter, 14-7 our score. Back in Chicago, ready for the 2nd quarter. It's the Bears in possession, as we'll see one following the score on the final play before break. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. Now this, of course, the final Sunday night game of the year. All-day games in Week 17, 13 in the early window. Among them, you've got Steelers, Ravens, Dolphins, Pats, Saints and Panthers, Chiefs, Chargers, just to name a few. And then 3 more in the late afternoon out west. Raiders, Broncos. Looking for Kelsey there, but it's intercepted. Picked off by Buster Screen. Kelsey, the intended receiver there. Well, this was a 14-0 game not too long ago. Things were looking pretty good. Then you give up the touchdown on the last drive. Now the interception.
So that's a lesson in trying to stay vigilant, isn't it? You have to stay on top of things. Can't relax too much because, as you noted, things change. Now they've got to go out there and get a spark going again and try and slow down this comeback. When you execute a drag or a crossing route really well and give them a chance to let it develop a little bit, you can gain some significant yardage hitting your tight end on that one.
Trubisky now off the bootleg. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Frank Clark in there to get him. Sack number 14 for him on the year.
2 sacks last week, another one right here. He's been unblockable lately, and I think that goes all the way back to not just his offseason, but the film study he's been doing during.
Under pressure again, and down he goes again.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
That'll go as a 46-yard punt with a return of 7. And the Chiefs are going to take over with a long field ahead and a 1st and 10. Patrick Mahomes on his way out for their next drive. And he's looked pretty good. Does have the 1 interception, but 2 touchdown passes so far. Your analysis.
They'll take the offset. When you talk about throwing 2 touchdown passes, no one wants to see an interception thrown, but those things happen in the course of a ball game and over the course of a season. But throwing 2 touchdown passes, that's why the team has an advantage. That's what they're looking for more of.
He'll be hoping to make it a 3-to-1 ratio here in the 2nd quarter. So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down. Now here's Mahomes. And this one's incomplete. The Pro Bowler Tyreek Hill, the intended receiver. And that'll make it 3rd down.
All right, that one fell incomplete there, but the best quarterbacks, They'll miss on 40% of their throws, somewhere in that neighborhood, similar to a great hitter in baseball who's going to fail 7 out of 10 times and still have a great year. In this case, you want perfection, but way better that it hits the ground instead of going to an opposite color jersey.
He is going to find Hill here. He's at the 40, the 20, 10, and all the way in for a Kansas City touchdown. Tyreek Hill, 87 yards. And the Chiefs are able to extend their lead. Now he's having a nice little first half here, partner.
And it's a first half that leaves us anticipating what can still come. I mean, 2 touchdowns already here through the second quarter. There could be plenty more before this game is over.
The drive there only spanning 3 plays. And it winds up with the Chiefs hitting pay dirt. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes up. The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. And they're coming off a 3-and-out, my friend.
I think they've got to look at that play sheet and go to a spot that they haven't gone before. Time to shake things up a little bit to try and get this offense moving.
Okay, so how do you do that? How do you shake things up?
You look at what you called before, realize it hasn't worked so well.
Go to something else.
And maybe you try and find one of those special plays from one of your better players, and maybe try and hit something big and get things going in the excitement area.
The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. And down on the scoreboard, certainly needing to avoid what happened on the last drive, punting the football.
Sense of urgency has to take over for them here. They know the score. They know the situation. And by the way, the punter no longer exists for their offense. That's how they have to treat this drive.
They need points.
Big time.
The Honey Badger, Tyrann Mathieu, there defensively to make the play. They're backed up here with a 1st and 20 now after the holding penalty. Without the previous penalty, that would have been a first down. Instead, it's just a gain of 10. On second down, it's Cohen. And he still has yet to get on track in this first half as they're going to stop him behind the line. That'll be a loss of 4 yards on the play. And that'll make it 3rd and 13. Another example right there how this defense really is winning the entire game at the point of attack.
Yeah, right there at the line of scrimmage because they are dominating it. It allows their interior guys to get upfield and spill into the backfield. So how are you going to combat that? You know, people say,
and a big loss here as he's taken down. Frank Clark, what a season he continues to have, his 15th sack of the campaign.
I'm starting to feel for that quarterback back there. I mean, you know me. Normally, don't have a lot of empathy for the QB, right? In this case, definitely. He's been on constant duress this entire game. I don't know how he's surviving back there.
And to think, there's still a long way to go in this football game. Great blocking on the return. It springs him for 25. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. The Chiefs offense about set to begin this drive. They had to go a long way on their last drive to score the touchdown. This time they get at least a little bit more of a cushion with field position.
I have to think that with this field position, after what they did on the last drive, they might want to take a shot right now and try and cut down the length of the drive. One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
On second down, Williams. And he was able to shed the tackle, but the reserves come in for the stop. Buster Screen is able to bring him down.
Well, he hasn't made much of an impact in the running game thus far, and after that last run, not much is going to change in that area.
He hasn't been able to get anything going, and really the offensive line not helping him much. From the gun on third down, Mahomes. And Hill with it over the middle. Taking it right down Broadway. And all the way in for a Kansas City touchdown. Tyreek Hill on his way to a monster game. 3 first-half touchdowns. And the Chiefs are able to extend their lead.
Brandon, my man, just one sentence for that one. clinic.
And that's what they've done. They lead the league in points per game this season, but it's been quick strikeability as we saw on that drive.
I think they're actually intimidating defenses because they're back on their heels right away, wondering where it's going to come from, how they're going to hit them. This group is well organized, well coached, and extremely confident in what they do.
Tariq Cohen and the rest of the offense heading back out there. He's just been looking for some space. Yeah, I'm not going to pin it on him or the offensive line, but they need to get this run game going better.
Sometimes you just have to credit the defense. They came in with a plan themselves. So I think now you try and mix things up a little bit. Get the ball in the hands of some other people, find some other playmakers, but always let the defense believe that he's still a threat.
I was going to say, don't forget about him.
No, don't take him totally out.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Xavier Williams in there to get him. That is the 6th time that they have sacked him tonight. Now the Bears going to call the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime. Pass protection has been a problem all night long as they come up facing second and a bundle. Now it's Trubisky. Completes it to the tight end, Burton. Now the Bears going to use the second of their timeouts as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half. They go play action. Trubisky trying to lay one. A fight for the football, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 22.
Well, if you go by the numbers, you'll find as the temperature goes down, so does the passing efficiency. And now that we're in December, even the routine throws are going to be harder for the quarterbacks. And this one, it winds up getting picked off.
To throw, it's Mahomes. He's going to rifle one deep left side. And the tip there altered the ball flight, and it falls incomplete. It'll be second down.
You got to give some credit. They're able to hop up in the air and bat that one away. And that's frustrating for an offensive lineman because the only recourse is when he goes in the air to try and give some type of a pop or a shove, hoping to bring his arms down.
That's caught inside the 20. And he will take it on in for a Chiefs touchdown. As his guys are in for 6. And the Chiefs are able to extend their lead.
I heard a coach talk about those late-in-the-half scores, especially ones that give your team a pretty decent cushion. He said those could be the ones that could finish off a squad if you let them.
Yeah, they've got the cushion. This half has been theirs. Pretty clean and simple there. Just 2 plays. The long pass resulting in the touchdown on play number 2. Now after the touchdown, here's Butker on to kick it away. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Bears offense led by Mitch Trubisky heading back out there. A lot of the problems have been on the other side of the ball. Is that frustrating for a quarterback who's been playing well?
It is, but there's no way that the best ones let their teammates know that. They actually take it upon themselves and say, okay, I have to do even more, or I need to play better. Maybe even say I put my defense in a bad spot. That's what true leadership shows you.
Yeah, well, he doesn't need to change much personally. They're going to need to get up and set in a hurry.
Mike is 59. Mike is 59. Oh, you got him. 59 Mike. 59 Mike. Check. 59. Hey, watch the slant. Watch the slant. Watch the slant. Watch the slant.
Final play of the half. It's Trubisky. And he's going to go down. Couldn't get a throw off with the pressure. Maybe that was for the best, as that brings us to the end of this first half of play. All right, hang on. We'll jump over halftime. Ready for the start of the third quarter. The Chiefs have the lead and set to receive the football. This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll take this up past the 20 and down at the 22-yard line. So the Chiefs offense heads out. There's a look at the playoff picture in the AFC. And with the final fortnight of games upon us, teams jockeying for position. Some of these games really starting to take enormous importance as they always do this time of year.
I like how you use fortnight.
Hey, you're impressed, aren't you?
I am impressed. That means 2 weeks, if I'm not mistaken, correct?
That does.
But how about exactly what you're talking about? Going down the stretch, how much importance is placed on these games. Look, everyone talks about every game's important. When you get to this time of year, maybe that importance gets quadrupled. And that's where we are right now to see who can make their last run, their last push to get into the playoffs.
So 2nd and 8 here after the pass play for 2 yards on first down.
We want it. Come to my way.
They'll run out of the gun here. Williams, nowhere to go that time. Might have gotten a yard up to the 25. Now 3rd down is looming. A pickup of 2 on first down and just 1 yard there. In the first half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
Yeah, and they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they could actually get production from their lead horse, that would help open up this offense and widen this margin, too.
He's going to fire one deep, middle of the field, and that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything that warranted a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket.
Get ready. Get ready. Get ready.
So here are the Bears now as they get set for their first possession of the second half. They trail offense, first time to touch the ball in quarter 3, and we'll see what they can do.
And I can't wait to see what they have planned, because some teams script to start a half. Other teams just go, okay, these are the sequence of plays we want to run. These things worked well for us. And sometimes they throw in that big chunk play right away.
Shocker.
Try and get after them early and try and create a big play to give themselves some momentum.
See what they have up their sleeve.
I think it's pretty evident. We can say what a difference a week makes. Last week, he ran pretty much wild, didn't he? Did pretty much what he wanted to do. But this one, they stopped him cold. That, to me, that's good scouting and even better execution.
Yeah, and they stopped him behind the line right there. They obviously watched the tape a few times and made some adjustments. These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. Now it's Trubisky, and the Chiefs are going to get him.
It's been a tough one all game long for this offensive line. They're already down big, and now you know they're just going to come after the quarterback in a big way, don't you?
Yeah, they just can't get out of their own way right now. It's created an avalanche, and an avalanche is coming right on top of them. Watch out for Hill on the return. Nice job bringing that one back. 14 on the return. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. Tyreek Hill making his way back out towards the huddle. And now he's inching closer to a 200-yard game. He's been so solid.
And he's really denting the pride of the guys playing defense, too, because there's certain barriers that you just don't want to give up. Never want to give up a 100-yard rusher, a 100-yard receiver. He's closing in on 200 yards? Wow, that's a really big game.
Williams. He'll take this from the 40 up to the 45 for a gain of 5. Well, with Damian Williams, it's notable that the Chiefs didn't make a play to go after a big-time running back in the offseason. The coaching staff said back in May they didn't want running back by committee. They trusted Williams to be their starter. You remember last year, under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Leonard Floyd, the old Georgia Bulldog, finding his way into the backfield.
Like how they've started the 3rd quarter here. They force a punt on the first drive, and after this sack, it looks like they'll be forcing another one as well.
Absolutely. Maybe got their 2nd win coming out of the locker room. After the sack, things get a little tougher here. 3rd and long for Mahomes and the Chiefs. On 3rd and long, it's Mahomes. And this is caught by Watkins. And they're able to work this to the 25 before it's all said and done. A gain of 39 that time.
Just more of the same there, partner. Guys have just been running free in the secondary this entire game. No pass rush, a lot of passes completed. Been an easy day for them.
Mahomes now to throw. They'll set up the screen. This is Williams. And taking it to the 15-yard line before he's brought down. 10 more there and another first down.
When you run a screen pass really well, you got to like the look of it because so many parts come together to make it work well. The offensive linemen, where they're faking people out, the back slipping out there, catching the football, then all of them going together as one unit downfield. A really nice pickup.
Now Carlos Hyde in the game. And he's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on first down.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice, solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
They stay on the ground. This time it's Williams. And he's able to get it down to the 2-yard line.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball, protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. Working from the gun, Mahomes. He's got it. Touchdown, Chiefs. Mecole Hardman hitting double digits with his 10th touchdown of the season as his guys continue to put this one out of reach. And all about timing there on that short slant, Charles.
Exactly right. That was timed up so well. The route, the throw, touchdown.
Extra point splits the uprights, and that will extend this big lead. So that winds up a 7-play drive all told. And it's capped off with a Kansas City touchdown. Now after the touchdown, here's Butker on to kick it away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll elect not to return this one, so they'll bring it out to the 25 on the touchback. Now the Bears offense ready to take over again. And here we are almost through 3 quarters of play, and this passing game still has not really found any kind of rhythm.
Put it mildly, because they're not even over 100 yards yet. And in today's NFL, where it's a pass-first league, that is quite surprising. Not many teams patient enough to stick with the run. Everybody wants to advance the ball through the air. They've got to get their timing back.
This drive starting off on the right foot, 18 yards. One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. From the shotgun is Trubisky, and it's intercepted. It's the Honey Badger, Tyrann Mathieu. And he will score. Touchdown, Kansas City. This D wanted to put it away before we even get to the 4th quarter, widening that margin a bit further.
And while they won't just empty the bench just yet, if you're a backup, start loosening up. I think you'll get a chance to play before this one is over now with that type of a cushion.
Extra point right down the middle, and the lead will swell by 1 more. A heck of a play there defensively, getting the interception, navigating his way into the end zone for the touchdown. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll elect not to return this one, so they'll bring it out to the 25 on the touchback. Here's the Chicago offense coming back out onto the field. And fresh off the pick 6, they've got to forget about that quickly.
In this case now, the guy throwing the ball, he's got to be like what we talk about with defensive backs who get beat for a long touchdown. Short-term memory, right back out there doing the things that he does best, and knowing that taking care of the ball is paramount. Here's his opportunity.
It all comes back to those defensive backs for the former DB, right?
I don't know where that comes from. It just kind of emerges out of me for some reason.
It's deep in there, right? Ball on the 30. They'll come up with a 2nd and 5. Throw left side complete. That's Robinson. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. 22 yards there, a 1st down. Back now at Soldier Field. And this is a blowout so far as we get set for the 4th quarter. A very one-sided affair. So now 1st and 10 in Chiefs territory at the 48-yard line. Out of the gun, Trubisky. Middle of the field, it's Robinson. Past the 20. And he is in. Touchdown, Chicago. Allen Robinson with his 2nd TD of the game, his 6th on the year. And the Bears are able to make things a bit more respectable.
Well, I do have one word for that touchdown for you, partner. You ready?
Yeah.
Cosmetics.
Just makes things look a little better. I don't know. It's like putting lipstick on a pig.
Yeah, and it's hard to do, too. And the pig doesn't like the lipstick a heck of a lot, but you do like the fact that they're battling down the stretch, still trying to put something on the board, even though this game is over.
By the way, how rude is that to the pig? Look at all the things they give us. Pulled pork, bacon. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Charles, you said earlier this defense is probably going to need to hold these guys right around 20 or under that if they were going to have a chance. It was evident pretty early on that wasn't going to happen.
Yeah, they left 20 behind a long time ago in this game, didn't they? It looks like they're headed towards a big, big number. But 20 was the threshold because that kept them in the ball game and kept the pressure off of their own offense.
Pressure, and he's taken down. A Bear sack. Corey Liuget able to record his 5th sack of the season. Great job defensively. I think he was trying to go through his progressions, find someone to get rid of the football. Before he knew it, he was on his back.
So that just brings us right back to what you said in the beginning. A great job defensively.
And got his man complete. And he takes this into the end zone for a Chiefs touchdown. Mecole Hardman, an 80-yard touchdown as his guys continue to pour it on.
There's no doubt in my mind.
Did you hear that? Do you hear the...
It's not scales, right? I don't hear scales. Do I actually hear a tune being warbled?
I think the fat lady's humming.
Yeah, she's doing more than humming. She's belting it out right now.
She's full bore.
Yeah, this thing is flat out finished.
Now after the touchdown, here's Butker on to kick it away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And now Chicago getting ready to go as they take the field. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked. But you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
First play of the drive going for 14 and also going for a first down.
And after that completion, you can understand why so many teams in the league are emphasizing speed on defense at every position. The tight ends have created so many tough matchups now. If you can't run with a tight end as a linebacker, this is going to be the result every time.
Tight end. There you go.
Throwing on second down. Trubisky. This one into the hands of Burton. And they'll get to him after a gain of 7 to the 47. The reception good for 7. It's third down. Draw play here. Trubisky gives to Cohen. And it's been like this all night long. Nowhere to run as they stop him behind the line. This linebacking core, they've done a good job of keeping that running game in check, haven't they?
They certainly have, and what they'll also do when this game is over is thank the guys up front, the big defensive line, because they've kept them clean, so to speak. Not letting blockers get to them, allowing them to run to the football and keep that running game bottled up.
The Chiefs offense and Tyreek Hill heading back out onto the field. This defense, they wouldn't mind not seeing him again for a while. 3 trips to the end zone. How about that?
I think right now they would happily go to their general manager and say, is there any way you could get a trade for him, bring him over to our team so we don't have to cover him anymore? Because he is really having a heck of a ball game, isn't he?
Boy, he is. I don't know that mid-game trade's going to happen, but good thought. Now a 10th carry. Here's Williams. And he's upended after a gain of 4 up to the 25-yard line.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they want to put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
So 3rd and 5, defensively expecting pass. They've got 6 DBs out there. From the gun, it's Mahomes. And that is incomplete. There defensively was Buster screen to knock it away.
They went with the dime look that time on defense, just flooded the field with defensive backs, blanketed everyone, took away all the passing angles, thus the incompletion.
And with things looking pretty good on the scoreboard, they're going to keep the offense out there and go for it here on 4th. Mahomes throwing on 4th. And they will not be able to hook up there. It's incomplete. Boy, it looked like he had it and dropped it. And the Bears are going to get the football back, and they're going to get it in great field position. So we were looking at each other up here in the booth when they went for that saying, oh, wow. Talk about trying to add insult to injury.
Some teams are just like that. You know,
and somewhat of a measure of revenge as he's in for the touchdown, but they still trail big time.
He'll take it, but he won't be able to smile about it. That's a whole lot of points still to be down. But congratulations, they're still fighting, and they scored another touchdown.
My old high school coach used to say, Charles, he said, sometimes you win, sometimes you lose, and sometimes you wish you never had showed up.
Could have saved the gas money, the hotel, what have you, huh?
Oh, did the Bears get it? They did. Chicago football. So the onside kick is recovered. And, you know, I always thought, Charles, as someone who didn't play these positions, that going over the middle as a receiver or trying to recover an onside kick, those are two very tough things to do.
It takes a lot of fortitude to put yourself in that position, but you have to do it in order to help your team win.
Unable to recover it, it costs him. The kicking team gets the football here. And the first play of the drive there is incomplete. Another incompletion. You know, it's a wonder he's still moving around back there the number of times he's been sacked.
Yeah, he's staying out there, isn't he? And you don't think about it much in a game like this, but he's showing incredible leadership. Still competing, still fighting, not taking himself out of a ball game that appears lost.
Another throw on second down, and this one incomplete as well. Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. Throwing here, Trubisky. And incomplete as the screen there unsuccessful. So now 4th down coming up. Just nothing there again. He's been sacked multiple times. We've seen the interceptions, of course. He's really been through the ringer, hasn't he?
And what we've seen is a defense that's well coordinated. The front and the back really in sync. The front putting on the pressure. The backside being ball hawks and picking passes off. Let's go old school there. That's absolutely a great coffin corner punt. Someone's put some time in working on that, hasn't it?
Seems like every year these guys get better and better. It's amazing how they can command that football through the air.
Yeah,
and he'll go down. The Bears get there for the sack. Eddie Goldman make that now 8 sacks for him on the season. Got to assume this defense will be charging again here. It's 2nd and 15. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So the Chiefs in possession of the ball as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Another try after the first down sack. Mahomes, he'll rifle this one deep right. He's got a man, complete. There he goes, right side. And they are going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals. And for them, this train, it just keeps rolling, doesn't it? Well on their way to yet another victory.
Yeah, it's almost a runaway, isn't it? And you just wonder how anyone could stop this. They got full momentum going, full confidence going. But it's not just their own confidence that's leading them. It's the lack of confidence against their opponents now because they see them coming and think, we've got no shot to beat this team.
Now after the touchdown, here's Butker on to kick it away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Here's the Chicago offense coming back out onto the field. They are just obviously getting shellacked here in this one, Charles. What's the message if you're a coach for this final drive in a lopsided game like this?
For a lot of coaches,
be honest,
don't forget.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
That right now, that's a defeated team out there. I think you can see it totally in their body language.
Hands on hips, heads low. It's just been a struggle from the start.
Yeah, this team has been thoroughly beaten right from the word go.
Darren Lee there to get him down. The Bears on 3rd down. Just one conversion in 8 tries. Not good. This is 3rd and 16. He's got Burton here. The Chiefs now going to use the first of their timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this. Here's Pat O'Donnell now. He's been terrific so far. Averaging over 50 yards a punt so far as this one's away. A call for a fair catch, and it's made at about the 23-yard line. So possession goes over here on the punt, and out will come the offense as they take over. The Chiefs offense now making their way back onto the field. And this game comfortably in hand. The scoreboard speaks for itself, but you still got your starting quarterback out there. When do you go to the backup, let him get some time?
And that's one of the great questions in the NFL.
Well, this is taken in. It's complete. And he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly.
And to me, that touchdown allows you to start grinning widely on your sideline. I think they pretty much locked this one away.
Yeah, that's the clincher, the proverbial icing on the cake, if you will. Point after, right down the middle. And that will extend this big lead. And we can break that scoring drive down pretty easily. One play, long touchdown pass into the end zone. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And now Chicago getting ready to go as they take the field. Let's just be frank. They're playing for pride at this point.
That's all that's left, because victory, not a chance now. And I can't wait to see how they actually go about doing it, because there are a lot of people watching the body language of the guys on the field now, and if they call plays they want executed, they need to do that and do it really well. Otherwise, there could be repercussions.
We'll see how they handle the waning moments of this one. Now a deep ball there on second down, but it'll wind up incomplete. Allen Robinson, the intended receiver, and it's third down. So back-to-back incompletions, and that has them staring at a 3rd and 10. Now a desperation throw deep downfield, and that'll be incomplete. Well, they took their shot all right, but it comes up empty, and it's 4th down.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, 4th quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield. And he'll be out of bounds near the 30. In fact, right on the 30. Here's the Kansas City offense now as they get set to take over. And 3 timeouts remaining here defensively, but really not much reason to use them at this point, as this one is all but over.
If they use the timeouts here, it's strictly for show. We got a plane to catch.
Mike spoke for Alpha.
Interesting, Mahomes wants to throw it. And a big loss here as he's taken down. Now another timeout called for by the offense. That'll leave him with just 1 remaining in this 4th quarter of play. Pass protection has been a problem all night long as they come up facing 2nd and a bundle.
Yellow, yellow. Hey, check 24. Watch 24. Smoke. 44 is the mic.
Now Mahomes. Looking sideline, and that's caught by Watkins. And a timeout coming in. This will be their final one with 10 seconds remaining. The Chiefs on 3rd down. They've been very good, 5 for 7 thus far. This time it's 3rd and 3. Here's Mahomes to throw. He's got his man. That's Hardman. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. Well, Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help but feel great about themselves, can they? I mean, what a game to put up that number of points, continually feeling like they're moving the ball and things are working and clicking. They think that they can bottle this and carry it with them.
And as an offensive coordinator, you just don't think you can do anything